Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you had a good rest and got some refreshment somehow. We will continue with the new online catalog of small wind turbines, which is coming here from the Nordic Folkecenter for Renewable Energy. This presentation will be made by Krenz, who has been working with this catalog for a long time, together with Daniele Pagani. First, I think that Anna Krenz, you'll be on. Are you ready, Anna?
Yes, hello, I'm ready.
Good, good to see you. Hello.
You too, on the screen.
Yeah.
It's such a strange times that we see each other on screens instead of live, but still, we have to make the best of it. It's better than nothing. So welcome everybody. Thank you for letting me speak. I would like to talk a little bit about the small wind turbine catalog. As you may know, actually we do it since many years. It started in 2012 or even before, and now we are preparing the ninth edition. In the previous years, we have been doing it physically on paper. This is the last one. It's a book, it's a real book. It is divided into two sections. The first section is a content matter, which I call it, and it's actually well the part with articles and information, very practical. And the second part of the catalog, it's companies listed with different technical specifications. And this is what we have been doing for many years, producing, printing, but now the times have changed. As you all know, the small wind industry also changed, and we have to adapt to these changes, especially to Corona situation and in general to industry changes. And we really do want to go online, and we do it because not only it's because then we will reach more people, but it's also kind of the necessity of the times. So there will be a book, but there will be the main part will be an online version, which Daniele will explain you the details. That's the older one. So it's usually a big book. The thing is, why do we do it and what is a catalog? The catalog, as I said, it consists of two parts. The main reason to do it is to help the small wind industry. If you have a collection of different models of wind turbines with information about different companies, how can you contact them? You can directly compare different models. For a user and the consumer, it's a very good source of information, but also for the manufacturers. We think that the more we unite or promote or inform about small wind industry, the more the industry will have something out of it. It's not only that Folkecenter has the test station. Now there is a second Danish Test and Resource Center in Humborg. These are physical places where you can test your wind turbines, and it's very important so that people can improve their products. The people who buy wind turbines can get certificated or proved models instead of some strange wind turbines which fall apart very quickly. The quality is very important, not only for the user, but also for manufacturers, how to make your wind turbines better. So there are physical places at the Folkecenter, but there's also the book, the catalog, which when it goes online, it will be, well, everybody can read it. So it's more democratic and useful for everybody in different corners of the world. Of course, we love books and we love paper, especially in the times of Corona. It's nice always to have something in the hand to hold on to something. But going digital will make more people use it. And we hope it will bring only good things to the industry and for the users because it's important. And what else? The catalog, it has always been made in partnerships with different organizations, and we are very happy to have the new one, the Swedish Wind Power Association, and we welcome everybody to join us. Different associations from different countries, we are all very welcome because it's we want to expand and we want to inform more about the situation of small wind power in different countries. We all need it. We all need networking and we all need information available to everybody. So you're all very welcome to join us, drop us a line, and we can cooperate together. Because you see, also this Folkecenter not only has a long tradition of many years of testing wind turbines, of developing wind turbines, you all know, but also of sharing knowledge. And it has always been Folkecenter's focus to share knowledge with everybody without any patents. Like in the 80s, wind turbine manuals, it was all available for everybody, for the better good of everybody. And it's the same with the catalog now. We want to support the industry, we want to support the users, but also share the knowledge because, well, in a global market full of products and patents and where everybody's hiding their own products, and we need to offer sustainable solutions in times of crisis and in times of global warming. That is why it's very important for us to go open source, open knowledge, which is the name of a publication series of Folkecenter, Open Knowledge, because this is what we do. We share the knowledge with everybody because it's for all of us, for the earth and for nature. So that's what we are doing. And Daniele will tell you more about the technical details, but I can already say that we will launch a website. There will also be part, again, I call it the content part, with articles and information about why do we need small wind turbines, what about the certifications, what about different market situations in different corners of the world, some practical info, also for people who are not necessarily engineers or scientists, well, because the knowledge should be understood by many. The more people understand it, the better for everybody. So we will try to make the language and the visual part understandable and welcoming also for people who are not engineers. So there will be this first section with different text. Hopefully more and more authors will join us. We already have a collection of articles for the website, very important articles. And there will be more, of course. And in the second part of the website, of the virtual catalog, so are the times, things go virtual, like we know. In the second part, there will be actually the catalog itself with the same what we were doing in the printed version. Well, the printed version is kind of limited to paper and the amount of pages, but in the internet, it's quite useful. We can expand and we can include more information. You see, that's how different pages looked like in a printed version. So there we've had each company, it was a contact detail of a company, a picture of a wind turbine, different, and the logo, different models described with different information for each company and each model. The information was the same, like model, output, generator type, applications, the material of the blade, also power curve. Wherever we had the information, we included power curve. This is something we can definitely include in the online version. We don't have to be limited to the space. And what is also important is that in these editions, we collected information, sometimes in contact with companies, sometimes we collected it by ourselves, mostly. Hopefully, with a digital catalog, there will be more participation of companies, because it's also for companies, it's quite interesting to inform and to update the data if they have a new model or maybe another model is gone. And we can react to the situation on the market quicker, because we noticed also when we worked on the catalog last year, there were some companies, but a few months later, unfortunately, some of them were gone. And it's not only because of Corona, it's a dynamic market. Some companies are there for many years, some come and go. And with a printed version, it's all right to react to that, but it just takes a little bit more time. With digital version, we can react quicker. and be more updated. So is the world changing. And we hope really that it will be our common work for the common good, for the industry, small wind industry, for wind power in general, and for the users. Because, well, in these times, many people look for alternatives. They were always looking for alternatives. But in times of crisis, people start to think about it a little bit more. If we have lockdown situations in some countries, if the industry is not going well, if people are getting ill or something worse happens, then people stop thinking about luxury or culture. Well, hopefully not, but we all start to think about our future and about today. How can we have all what we need in difficult times? How can we have energy? How can we produce it? And there are many, many trends to go really off-grid. Obviously, there are many trends to be decentralized, which is something we always said it's right. Decentralized systems as much as possible and owned by people. And these things, not unfortunately, but it is happening now as well, a little bit more than before. And that's why it's quite crucial to support small wind industry, because small wind turbines can be used in different locations by regular people who may not have so much money to install big installations, but they can afford a small wind turbine and be independent and get the supply of electricity from renewable energy. So this is what we offer, and this is what we support very much. Decentralized renewable energy systems, so that we can all at least have energy supply safe and a little bit cheaper than from the big networks, and of course not fossil fuels. In some countries still fossil fuels are the main source of energy. I come from Poland, so what can I say? Well, maybe I will not go into politics right now with Poland and Hungary. No, we talk about small wind turbines. So I think I've said enough from my side. We welcome you all to join us, to send information about your models. Maybe if you are an association of small wind turbines or small wind manufacturers and you would like to join us, let us know, because it could be our common work for everybody. Open source, open knowledge, open technology transfer for everybody. So I think I would like to ask Daniele for the first slide. Daniele? Are you there? Okay, there we go. Thank you. And exactly, can you put a second slide? I don't know, I cannot do it. Exactly. So here you can see the cover, which I show you already, but now you can see it a little bit better. And that's how it is. In the last edition, we've had about 100 companies from 28 countries, as you see, 300 models. Things really do change. We noticed, for example, in the last year, I don't know how is the situation now, because it's dynamic. Like, for example, in Canada, the situation with small wind turbines looked not very promising. The market got very, very much limited. So obviously, we hope that in the next digital edition, we will have more companies. We really, truly believe and hope that the companies will not close. We want to use all our means and tools to help somehow to promote and to keep these companies on the market. And many models, I think also it's important that you see, the market is full of different wind turbines. Some of them work better, and they have certifications, some work less. It is about the quality. So that's why it's for us it's important, so that we mark which models have certifications and what kind of certifications. Obviously, certification is different in different parts of the world. That is maybe something for the future, for the European Union and other continents, so that we can try to see how can we kind of bring different certifications maybe on the same level for different continents and countries, or at least we want to inform about the differences about certifications in different countries, because obviously every country also has different regulations about setting up wind turbines. That's why it's for the user, it's important to choose maybe, you can choose a wind turbine from a different country. You can choose a Spanish wind turbine or from the Netherlands. But then you always have to remember it's regulations in your own country. And this is all, of course, not possible to put it in the catalog, because then we would have to check every country, and there are already many, but we will try to inform you with all the best we can, so that more people will have small wind turbines and renewable energy, and so that the industry will grow instead of having difficulties. I think that's all from me for now. I'm greeting you from Berlin. It's very cold outside. Sitting at home, listening to you. Thank you very much. And then I give the floor to the screen to Daniele.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, Anna. Is it the audio okay? Yeah, thanks. So, well, it's nice to present in this way. It would have been better to present together in the same room, but of course, we deal with what we have. And thanks also for all the effort you have done so far for the catalog. And it's really amazing that we could get to the 8th edition and get so many companies on board. But as you mentioned, there has been some challenges. Does it work? If you can switch the next slide. Okay, we have, just a second, we have some technical issues. Sorry about that. So, as said, we have some issues. And to begin with, this catalog so far was limited to the 50 kilowatt size wind turbine. And as Anna said, it's this market, it's a very mobile market. So today we have many companies, tomorrow we might not have them. So we said maybe also the 50 kilowatts, it's a little bit too restricting. And therefore, as we'll see later, we have decided to open for larger sizes as well. And then, of course, we will see what comes in. Based on the material we receive, then we can say, does it make sense to have it 50, or should we raise it to 100, or what is it? And then another issue is that, well, an issue and a good thing at the same time, it's that we are dealing with small and medium-sized enterprises. And that's, of course, a very good thing. But that also means that time is money for everyone. And what I mean with that is that often when we contact manufacturers, due to other appointments, due to other issues, due to other tasks, we have problems in getting answers. So if we are talking to a small company, maybe there are 10 people employed, and maybe all these 10 are doing something else, which is more essential for the company in that moment. So of course, when you scale this up for 300 models and 100 plus companies we have, this can take really long time. On top of that, since this catalog is designed for the whole world, we need to consider also that we have some markets which are more complicated to access. And yesterday, or a couple of days ago, there were some discussions about, for example, the Japanese market with the barriers that the language can pose. But not only, there can be some countries in which you need to pass through a certain association in order to get contact to the manufacturers. And all this takes time, and all this slows the whole process. Then that means, as Anna said, that it becomes increasingly complicated to have some regular updates. And having had a printed version up to now, we also need to consider that we need to reach a certain thickness. You know, quantity is not the main parameter. But when you're printing out a book, that also plays a role. We cannot release a catalog with 5 pages or so. So all this took a lot of time. And that meant that the last edition, as you have seen, it's 2016. We are in 2020, and we still haven't released the catalog. And everyone is keeping on asking, when is the new edition coming? And when is the new edition coming? And we want to release it, of course. But we have had many issues in getting answers from manufacturers and getting all the things in place. On top of that, so far, this was a pay-per-view edition. So you would need to pay a small amount of money to have both the PDF and the physical copy. And since we are not doing much of online business, we had also a very slow system of responding to people that were interested. That means if any of you have tried to write me in these days, you will see that you get an auto reply because I'm busy with the conference, so I cannot look at the mails. And that means that if someone wants to buy the catalog right now, then I will first see the answer, the mail in a week. So this can take many people away. And we're also a small team, as many of you. So we need to prioritize what's most important at the moment, which is why we have decided to make the catalog online and for free. And the current edition, the 8th edition, from tomorrow, basically, it will be available online at the link that's in there. And you can download and see all the material that's available there with all the articles and all the companies. But then now we are looking at the future and say, how do we collect more? How do we become more efficient in collecting information? So we have created a part of the Smallwind website, which aim is to basically diffuse this catalog on an easier way. So we have a login and a registration process, and right now there are not many requirements to register. You just need an email and a username and so on. And then you can come in at the link shown in there, which soon will be made more user-friendly. Now it's just this here for the presentation. And what we get, and this is still a trial design, it's this welcome page, and this picture that you see there, that's actually our test center in Humburg. And then we have the options of selecting if we are a manufacturer, an installer, a developer, or a sub-supplier. And right now, the manufacturer is the only part available, but more comes next. So when we click on it, then we insert the information about the company, and it's quite important that we fill the update field. We will put it as a compulsory field, because in this way we can keep a track on how often do companies update. And then once we have that, we can insert the logo of the company, and then we have created our profile. So at this point, we can insert a new model of the wind turbine. And this can be done only if you are a registered company. So you can choose from a list your company, and then all the fields related to your company, including the logo, will be populated. And then we go in and insert the information regarding the wind turbine, which is what is the key of the catalog, basically. And here we have, I think, around 40 inputs fields that can be filled partially or completely. And we, of course, recommend the more the better. But so far, we haven't set any limitation to what you should fill. We will, of course, set some compulsory fields so that everything goes as we plan. But we cannot do your job, in the sense you are the ones that want to present your model and present your wind turbine. And just think, when you're buying something on Amazon and you have two products, one with very little description and one with all the technical details, you will probably be more interested in the one with more technical details. But it's something that we want to leave to the companies to fill in what's relevant for them. And that means we can also insert 3 pictures, up to 3 pictures, with the requirements explained in there. As said, again, this is not compulsory. We will set picture 1 to compulsory. but you can choose if you want 1 or 3. And once you upload the picture, then you can insert the power curve if you have one, and if you don't have, you just go to the end of registration. And well, we all know that there can be some very artistic power curves which don't reflect reality. And that's not our task to say this should be on, this should not be on. We give the space as we did for the physical catalog. And at the same time, we will develop sections in which we will explain to viewers how to select a wind turbine. So what should you look in a power curve? Is it having a color different? Does it make a difference? Or should we maybe just look at the numbers of the chart? And this kind of information that is already included in the catalog, and we will further expand. So once we have inserted all the things, you can see an overview of what you have inserted. And again, the updated date, that will be compulsory, because once a year or once every 6 months, what we will decide, we'll say, now it's time to see if we have material to make the 2020, 21 edition of the catalog. And we say, we will send a mail to everyone and say, look, by this day, you will need to update your information and yeah, confirm that everything is correct. Otherwise, you will not be in the catalog. So that in this way, we can also see who is still alive, who has changed, and we can have a more dynamic. And now this was the login part, but there is a part which is available for everyone, which is where all the models are displayed. As you can see, we have already some on some manufacturers that have keyed in some information. And then once once clicking on the link of each manufacturer, you will get an overview of the detailed model. And then, well, there are things to be finished, as you might have seen. First of all, the design, that will be completely Anna taking care of that. But also we have some edit functionalities and upload new pictures. And we will also provide a function of creating a draft label, so that this is not substituting any certification, but it's just allowing people to compare the different products. And of course, if then someone gets certified and this information become official, they will have the right to remove the draft watermark. Furthermore, we will expand the catalog so that we will give space also to installers and sub-suppliers, so that, for example, if I need to design a wind turbine and I need to get a new generator, I can get them from a list. And well, why announcing it if it's not finished yet? And it's because it's nice to work under pressure and have a deadline. And this catalog could have had many more improvements before today. But now it's official, now it's out, and now we'll just, let's say we have got to the tip of the mountain, now we will just climb a little higher. But the big part has been done. And that means that in the next couple of days or weeks, maximum, we'll have a full product. And finally, this will allow us to have more wide reach. This will be available for everyone. And we hope also to engage more the different businesses in providing feedback so that we can improve further. And very last thing, it's this LinkedIn group we have created at last conference. You can join, it's free for everyone. It requires approval, but anyone can join. And it's meant as a square where we can all discuss. So it's not us putting material necessary, but for example, we have some posts from Fritz here, and someone of you has created a new model and you want the wind community to know about that. So it's our little place to discuss. And yeah, well, that was the online catalog. Remember to consider us to test your wind turbine, and I will give back the floor to Morten.
Thank you very much, Daniele and Anja. It was informative and good, and I hope that all of you who are participating here will use it in the future. Yes, we do have, even though we are should go to the next presentation, there are a question or two we can take in here now, and I hope you will apologize for it. Yes, who's question? Villa, yeah. Dr. Villa, there's a question from you.
Hi, yeah, it's me again. I'm sorry, I asked a lot of questions. I did ask them on the chat. If you don't have the time to answer them right now, you can, write about it. It's perfectly okay for me as well. Well, question about there are two questions. One about the open source, the other one about the catalog. The one about the catalog would be, the type of contributing model that you guys are putting together is very interesting. I really like the presentation. It's really starting to look like a sort of a wiki or a collaborative effort to put content together. There are a lot of ways of doing this that work. Really invite you to take a look at what's going on. And the question would be, how would you go around funding it? Would you go into like Wikipedia on the donation aspect of the community, asking people to, those who actually put the information in, ask them to give you some funds as they go along, as they donate? Or would you ask for some sort of subscription depending on the size of the company? Have you thought about that kind of funding aspect?
Well, the thing it's for free. So by eliminating the writing, the paper version, and by eliminating the big amount of time needed to collect the information, it means that, yeah, we basically give it as a present to humanity, if so we can say. And then, of course, if we end up making the new edition of the catalog, the printed version, of course, that will be on purchase because of the printing cost and shipping. But else, it's a lot on voluntary work. Yeah, there has been people attending the conference now that have contributed with articles. So it's all on a voluntary basis. For us, it was important to get it on that way now, because now we can set up this website, and that of course takes a lot of time. Once the website is running, then expenses are reduced to a minimum.
Sure. And the second question I was going to ask was about the open source part, but I don't know if you guys have the time to answer it. Is are you thinking about, or on the process of doing, or thinking about putting together a work group to design a sort of open source modular middle power range wind turbine? Something we talked about 2 days ago, but just in case, are you thinking about this? Are you talking around you about this or not at all? Quick question on that.
Well, I can easily answer you. We're not even thinking about it. We're doing it, and we have been doing it for, I think you can say for decades. So it's a part of what is going on here, and that's how the whole Danish wind industry was built up. That started up with the open sources. Otherwise, it would not have been able to do it. And here I can show you. Here is, for example, the manual for 200 to 270 kilowatt wind turbines. And that's just a manual which is available for everybody. It has not been digitalized yet. And of course, we would like to do that, but that also needs some resources. And so therefore, maybe we could cooperate about this matter. So you can find somebody to help to put it digitalized, so it will be available as a source as well. But think about it. And there might be others who could say that we could help about doing it. But anyhow, it is open sources here, and we are working with open sources, and we are proud of doing it. So yes, it is.
Wonderful. That's great. Of course, like I said before, we're more than interested into collaborating with that kind of, now that since you have the manual and the manual is already ready, digitalizing it would definitely be something interesting.
It's just one, we have plenty of them. So actually there's a whole range. So yeah, and now also, as you mentioned, the U-Picket is very well known here.
Oh, sure. I got that from 2 days ago. Yes, absolutely. Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Are there further questions right now?
Yeah, I had a
Yes.
Quick comment. First of all, thank you for that, for the very helpful work that you're doing. I know how much work it is, and so for everyone, Anna and Danielle, everyone who's involved, thank you for doing this on behalf of our international industry. I do have one request. It would be helpful if you exercise some role as moderator and keep outrageous claims of performance being included, because then it gives a credibility that's not deserved and does some damage to the industry. So it's the same problem that Facebook and social media sites have. I know that it's tricky and fraught with things you don't like, but it would be helpful.
We intend to do it, and we hope we'll manage doing it. So Mike, well, we are really aware of it. You can be sure. Yes, others? Otherwise, I will hand over the word or the floor to, and well, we can continue this discussion a bit when we're finished. There are 2 more presentations, and then we can continue with the discussions here.